Hey guys, welcome back to ArtosisCasts. Today we're going to be taking a look at Soma here in the bottom left, currently easily argued the best player in the world, going up against HBQ. If you don't recall who HBQ is, he is one of our up-and-coming Terran players, and he's shown us some of the more interesting Terran vs. Zerg builds, right? When everyone started doing Vulture Valkyrie, he came up with Vulture Vessel and showed some very cool games. I think we had a bunch of games of him against Sulky, and those were fantastic. A really wide range of play. He really seems to be a Terran vs. Zerg specialist, which, you know, used to be a thing. It doesn't feel like it really is anymore. It does, like, there's very few people where I'm like, this guy's best matchup is against Zerg. Normally, like, a lot of Terrans are struggling more against Zerg. But it's great to see because HBQ definitely, this is his best matchup, and we're seeing very cool stuff. So thought this might be nice to see how can he do against Soma? Can some of his strategies bring him out on top against currently the strongest player in the world? All right, so the map is Knockout. And if we take a look, it is a forward 8 racks, and it looks like a wall coming up behind. So I'm guessing that this is going to turn into a gas build with a fast factory as well, even though the barracks isn't that far up. Like, you could definitely expand off of a barracks at this position. Obviously, if it was like here, I'd be saying, okay, 100% this is going to be gas. But yeah, that's what it kind of looks like to me right now. Down at Soma's side of the map, very standard, just a hatchery first, and we'll see the pool and then the gas coming up as well. So just very, very normal stuff. And we'll see how quickly he can scout what's going on, because the Overlord flying up is not going to see anything necessarily that quickly. 2 SCVs out scouting so he can get the pressure on with the 8 barracks, and it is, in fact, a quick refinery with this. So the SCV going to go in through the natural, sees that it is, in fact, a hatchery first. The other SCV turns around to come join his brother in trying to do a bunker rush. And Soma has no idea yet. You generally won't start the gas if you know that this is occurring. And now he knows that it's occurring. Did not cancel gas, but I don't think you necessarily have to. And in fact, some of the ways, oh wow, he actually put one on. That's interesting. One of the ways where sometimes you can get an edge after an 8 racks is getting your layer more quickly. By the way, he's going to get the Overlord. That's kind of huge. You normally don't see an Overlord killed by an 8 racks. The thing is, on a lot of maps, you can do it. Like, a lot of maps, there's like scouting areas where that's just like something you get done. But if you stop to kill an Overlord, the amount of time that takes, generally you'll never get a bunker up. And drone kills are better than an Overlord kill, but the Overlord kill is kind of free. So you can see here that it's like he hasn't killed any drones really, but he did get the Overlord. It's like a very different way to approach it. And it's known that you can do something like that, but like generally people want to get drone kills. So he actually got 2 drones still with those Marines. And I think the only reason he got 2 drones with those Marines, and by the way, this is a factory float, which Soma has scouted. The only reason he got those is because Soma was like really not countering. I think Soma looked at that and was just like, no, I've already killed the SCV. I've already killed a Marine with the drones. I'm fine. So, you know, maybe him greeting a little bit too hard did allow that damage. And you can see he's utilizing 2 drones. It's basically impossible to block it with 1. You need to keep 2 under here, and you have to actually be, like, locked in to stop it from landing. And it's a little bit tricky. It is a little bit tricky, but he's doing a great job. Like, the spread of the drones is perfect. This is really, really well done. He just, man, HBQ wants to land this so badly. He needs to get a Vulture out with this. And he's just unable to. The thing is, if he landed it, not only would a Vulture get out, but unless you did a full surround, the Vulture would actually do damage too. Like, a Vulture just out micros Zerglings and drones so hard. By the way, Hydralisk Den is up at the natural, and HBQ is going to scout that. Let's take a look at HBQ's base. He is making a command center. He is making a Wraith. I think that'll be the only Wraith that we see. In fact, an add-on comes up. I wonder what that add-on is going to be for. because he can't go dropship. He could go cloak, but it sounds terrible here. Like off one Wraith. Maybe he wants to save it for Vessel. Maybe potential cloak if he sees a Spire go up. Like I could see that being the case. By the way, with 3 Hydras in here, HPQ's getting nothing done. And now, like, dude, he's going to literally lose this. I think his idea was he was going to scout with a Vulture, but that's terrible. Okay, so the Wraith is going to have to do overtime scouting. And in fact, I think I saw him start cloak and then cancel. The factory being remade. Dude, this is terrible. This is the worst. Like, HPQ is in terrible shape here. He's got nothing going on. Overlord's speed on the way. Hydra's speed is, of course, already done. HPQ trying to just get through. He's just looking for a Spire here, by the way. He's just trying to make sure that there's no Spire. Soma should throw a Spire down right this second. Like, that sounds to me like it's a really good idea. And by the way, Cloak on the way. So he's actually expecting a Spire to go down. You would not get Cloak here because you're like, oh, he's going Mass Hydra. I better get Cloak. No. No. You get that because you think he's going to probably go into Mutas. And as long as you have a few cloaked Wraiths, you feel like, okay, I can live through it. I can live through a Mutalist tech switch. It's a good play in a weird situation like this, I think. Now, a second bunker going down, repairing up this Wraith. He does have a second Wraith that's coming, or a third Wraith, I guess, rather. Probably will stop at 3. 3 is a very normal number for anti-Mutalist defense. Anymore, it just doesn't tip the scales that much unless you go up to, like, really a lot. This Wraith, it looks like maybe the starport is rallied down here. By the way, there is no Spire, which is really, really funny. And look at how many SCVs are not mining. Man, it's a tough position here for HPQ. Like, a lot has gone wrong. Losing that factory was really painful. He's remade it now, but not done anything with it. I feel like HPQ has a lot of good ideas, and this wasn't necessarily a bad idea, but it was a risk. And he's gotten to do absolutely nothing. He's losing mining time nonstop. Soma's like actually getting an okay amount of drones. He's on 22. He's taking a third base. He's got decent things going on. HPQ really doesn't. Okay, he's making a siege tank with siege mode. The Hydras move forward. As long as you pretend you're going to attack, he has to keep some out for repair. Because this amount of Hydras will kill 2 bunkers in seconds. But when you're repairing with that much... Oh, dude, he's trying to go over it so he can't repair it. That is hilarious. Oh, my God. That is a godly move. So he's covering it so that like, notice how he has the Overlord split? You can't click it to repair. And in fact, he did for a second, so the Overlord's moved. Dude. I don't know if this is a future in StarCraft I want to be a part of. Where it's like, yeah, you can't repair. LOL, I'm making everything unclickable. It's so insane. It reminds me of like having the Mutafly on top of a turret so it won't shoot. We saw that micro move recently. But the 4 Overlords spread perfectly so he couldn't repair the bunker is absolute madness. Absolute madness. Seriously. There are some things coming out in StarCraft right now where it's like, you know, probes and drones chasing down scouting SCVs or other probes and drones. You know, we already have stacked lurkers with overlords over them. We have positions that high Templars and lurkers stand in where they can't be targeted. You know, and now we have like overlords that are going to fly over a bunker so you can't repair it. There's all sorts of stuff like this coming out right now where it's like, well, damn, man, that's not how this is intended to go. But obviously a smart move. That's the first time I've seen that. The thing is, there are other precedences for this, okay? Like, for instance, like a lot of times in TVT, if you're trying to push, you might float your barracks over the bunker, something like that. Yeah, stuff like that can occur. Like, for instance, you might put a floating building over a siege tank so it can't be targeted down easily by like Dragoons coming in, something like that, right? So there is some precedence, but this is the first time I've seen like quick overlord speed utilized to stop repair on the bunker for your Hydra bus. Now, obviously, it didn't work. The game continues, and I'm just keep talking about it. But it's like, this is an important moment because that will probably get used regularly at some point. And now we've seen at least very close to where it started, because that is the first time I've seen it. Damn, crazy stuff. Okay, so Lurker upgrade on the way, the Cloaked Wraith flying around to scout. So it does look like it's just like a Lurker Hydra Defiler build. There is Zergling speed, so maybe we see Zerglings mixed in. I don't think we'll have that many. I think it's just for like Defiler food mostly. It's one add-on, and there's mines being gotten. So this is probably, well, he's getting, oh no, that's only +1. Okay, that makes more sense now. +1 in range. I think that this turns into a mech switch. This is like a really gangly looking build right now because he doesn't have range yet. He doesn't have +1 yet. But when you see mines like this and he's got tanks, generally that means it's like, okay, we're gearing up for a mech switch. And then, yeah, I guess an armory got started. So that definitely points towards that as well. So he's just getting like the bare minimum of marine upgrades, range, and +1. So that, you know, it's hard for Zerg to tell if this is going to be a mech switch right now. But I think it's probably a good choice because, well, you can go Marine Medic Mass Tank against Hydra Lurker Defiler, and it is actually somewhat playable. It's difficult, but if you get 2 or 3 factories up, you can do it. But I think mech is obviously a better counter. It's just like, can you hit a timing when they aren't going to get queens? So some mines going up. The Marines stem forward here. Ooh, that was a really good mine. But the Darkstorm hits. Tank's going to be pulled back. That's actually an excellent tank pullback there by HPQ. Lurkers and Hydras going forward towards the natural. Kind of weird. Doesn't feel like they should be able to do very much. Kind of an interesting, like, almost zoning position here. Because you can definitely just go straight up. I feel like if you're not going to push with these right now, you might want to move them to there. That seems better to me. Okay. A Radiate goes down on that Defiler. Okay, another Darkstorm goes down, kind of chasing down this army a bit. Probably wants to throw one more down there to zone everything back even further. Yeah, okay, so I think right now, as HBQ, what you need to do is you need to retake this area. Because he's actually got, like, a very decent army. The thing is, he needs to rejoin this army. There's just not enough Marines here. 7 Marines in the medics and then 4 tanks. It's like, if Soma brings everything he has together, he'll crush this. And if he crushes this, he should win the game, probably. But it looks like Soma right now has some other plans. He's going to attack up into this 3rd base. Darkstorm goes down. Can push back that bio for now. There is +1 armor on the way. Not super uncommon with mech switches. You can definitely get +1 attack and +1 armor. 2nd factory is up, but that's all so far. Even, like, I mean, this could still be a Marine Medic Siege Tank play. And by the way, yeah, it looks like we missed a little bit of an engagement over here while he was defending that 3rd. Doesn't seem like too much damage done to Soma as of yet. Definitely lost a bit of his army. Yeah, you got to pick those off. All right, so only the single Marine left, but there is a Zergling under that Darkstorm, so that will get cleared. And finally, going to clear out the rest of the Lurkers in the front of his base. But yeah, as you can see, that smaller group, that's too bad because, like, those 4 tanks I find to be very, very important. In a game like this, I really think you need to build up that tank count and not let any get wasted. And it felt like Soma just dividing the army and then HBQ saying, screw it, I'm going to go attack. I really think he should have just focused on taking this area back, even if it means, like, moving down here and coming around, or, like, you know, sieging a couple tanks here, sieging a couple tanks here, and just grinding it. Because that attack, I think, had potential. It wasn't big enough. It wasn't enough units. Now HBQ in a very defensive stance. You can see Soma now pushing up. Soma's got 4 bases at the moment. And he's got the triple evolution chamber that we've seen a lot from True. in his later game Terran or Zerg vs. Terran games, which I find really, really cool. Because True is not getting enough love right now, I think, for his level and the way he thinks about the game. In fact, he's the one that gave Barracks the build that killed Sulky and Sulky's attempt at a 5th ASL. He's actually the one that came up with that build, those strange-looking Valkyrie Rush. But yeah, this is what Soma's doing here with the triple Evo plus the heavier wings is a very True-esque build. Now, pushing into the natural, throws down that Dark Storm. These lurkers get burrowed, and yeah, HBQ is going to have to GG. Well, look, HBQ is really good at this matchup. He is a very strong player in Terran vs. Zerg. But there's no question Soma's better. No question here. I think that... Yeah, so like the race with Cloak, I understand why he did it, because I've played weird games that look like this where they open Hydra, and like a lot of the time they do go Spire. I even said, I'm like, I think he should go Spire, and he never did. And a lot of money was wasted on the Cloak. But yeah, Soma stopping the factory flow, obviously that was big. Splitting the army here, I think that was the final blow in a lot of ways. Like, obviously this is where the game ends, but I think sectioning off those 4 tanks and HBQ deciding to attack with them, I think that was a huge blunder. There's no reason why 4 tanks and 7 Marines are going to do anything that late into the game. Anyways, guys, that does it. I hope that you enjoyed. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time.